As if I'm not pissed off already, am I right, guys? How's it going, everyone? So we're going to talk about yet another bit of hypocrisy from the alleged anti-child genital mutilation crowd. Very alleged, considering that they actually verbally call for ignoring MGM in this subject. So we're talking about Bill S-3076 from New Jersey Republican Senator Edward Durr. Senator Edward Durr, who sounds like he's using all his brain cells to form one complete sentence, has introduced legislation to protect children from irreversible treatments and surgeries that would change their sex, prevent or delay puberty, or result in sterilization. Children do not have the maturity to make life-changing medical decisions that cannot be reversed, said Durr. Actually, it's pretty funny that he would say that, because the fact that infants do not have the maturity to make life-changing medical decisions that cannot be reversed is the very reason that MGM happens at that age in the first place, is because they can't make those decisions. They can't say no. They can't fight back. We cannot discount the fact that 10, 11, and 12-year-old children are extremely impressionable and can be influenced by adults who may push them to make choices that they cannot fully comprehend. Again, funny that we say that. Infants are actually so young, they're so extremely impressionable and could be influenced by adults that they actually cannot fight back when they're held down and strapped onto that circumstraint. We can protect children from unnecessary and permanent harm by delaying these important decisions until they are adults. Durr has introduced the Child Protection and Anti-Mutilation Act to address these serious concerns. The bill, S-3076, prohibits any person from, with regard to an unemancipated person under 18 years of age, engaging in, performing, or causing to be performed the following practices. So we got the standard rap sheet for the child transgender surgeries and the mutilations and the puberty blockers, the hormones, and all that. But of course, I need to draw your attention to number 6 here. Removing any healthy or non-diseased body part or tissue except in the case of a male circumcision. Except in the case of a male circumcision. So, let's take a look at what's going on here. They're actually admitting it here, that what we euphemistically call a male circumcision is in fact the removal of a healthy and non-diseased body part or tissue. They're actually admitting that it's an actual healthy part here, perhaps unintentionally. And they proceed to say in the same breath, yep, this is an absolutely healthy part, but we're not going to protect it from being ripped off with a knife. I'm going to skip ahead here. It's nothing short of child abuse to allow minors, including prepubescent kids, to undergo life-changing, medically unnecessary treatments and surgeries when they are unable to fully understand the inescapable consequences of these actions. You know, I could just rehash everything I said in this video, and they'll be basically the same, but I'd like to add one more thing here. Yes, MGM is a life-changing surgery. It's a life-changing cosmetic surgery. It's actually so life-changing that it happens so soon enough that nobody notices. That's the big scam, isn't it? It's absolutely obscene that we're letting kids agree to mutilating surgeries that can never be undone. See, at least these kids can be persuaded to not undergo the procedure. At least there's still a chance for them. When it comes to MGM, we're up against fully grown adults that are doing the procedure for the children. And unlike preteen minors, these creatures are absolutely hell-bent and cannot be persuaded worth a shit once they have their mind set to it. They will justify MGM in just about any way you can think of. Anti-male sexuality, buying into the lie that it was clean, the argument from just passing on the tradition of child abuse, because if it was done to them and they don't want to admit that they've been victimized, they want to keep it going, probably. Anyway, getting off track here. No adult should ever look back wondering how they were allowed to make such monumental decisions as a child that they now regret. Same argument from me. You know, infants never were able to have that decision that they can actually regret it for themselves. They were completely helpless as it was performed upon them. So I'm going to tell you something here. In a way, in a strange way, I'm actually glad that this is getting out, because it's going to be a litmus test. Who is going to actually support this while reading very clearly here that it is going to ignore infant MGM? When you see these supposedly anti-child genital mutilation people actually clamoring for this, while knowing fully well that it makes an exception in the case of the euphemistically called male circumcision, then it's going to be really telling. Are they going to say anything about male genital mutilation or not? I get it, we're not really expecting such a thing. But I have always stressed the importance in exposing those hypocrites. They are the ones grandstanding about how they're against genital mutilation, but sometimes when they're not ignoring the issue completely, they're mocking intactivists. They're mocking the fact that males deserve their bodily autonomy, not to undergo the torture, not risk death, bleeding, sepsis, whatever else. I'm betting some of you might say, well, we should support this bill anyway because it is at least a start. No, I'm not going to support this bill. I know some of you are going to be bothered by this. I am not going to be supporting this bill on the basis that it actually affirms that we shouldn't give a shit about infant male genital mutilation. This bill, in text, calls for ignoring it. In text, it keeps on affirming the euphemistic term of male circumcision as if it's some kind of medical procedure. Very ironic, It's supposed to be a medical procedure to remove a healthy or non-diseased body part. I've said it before, folks. I'm going to keep on pressing these people who are supposedly anti-genital mutilation, but are silent in matters like this. I'm going to keep on talking. There are going to be people that think I'm fighting a pointless fight, but I believe it needs to be done. The country that has normalized and made most prevalent the cutting of male genitalia does not deserve to call themselves the authority on the subject. And it's not just hypocrisy here. It's not just the fact that I'm attacking hypocrites. It's not just about that. It's about the fact that they are going to contribute to the continued normalization of this process of infant male genital mutilation. It is in fact a direct misinformation campaign. I can freely state that we can't be silent on this for a second. We have to be calling this out on the spot where we see it.